In this video I want to have a look at the inspector and how we can use the inspector to look at a building's usage. So if the inspector is not currently shown, I can bring it up by going to Window, Inspector, and I can rearrange the order of these things similar to what you can do with tabs on a browser. At the moment the inspector is empty, and that's because there's no building selected. So if I select a building like the Marshes here, just by clicking on it, you'll see it comes up highlighted in pink, and you'll see I get quite a bit of information about the building. So just to go through each of these, the visualization mode at the moment is just showing you the building. I can also look at number of floors in the building, and I could look at the number of windows, and I could just look at the lot as well, but I'm going to put that back to its default of building for the moment. So the default visualization within the tool is to do with energy, because energy is mostly what Indicate is about. But I could also show, if I want to look at the building type, I can see the building type and it comes up orange. So orange is the color for a commercial building. If I was to look at residential, it would come up red, etc. So I can change the visualization mode if I want to see what each building is used for. But again, I'm just going to go back to the energy class there. Then you'll see under building information, it was saying this is built in 2005. It's saying its height is 20.35 meters. If that's incorrect and I have better information, I could change that to 40. You'll see it changes in the model. Its roof type is flat. If that's incorrect, I can change that to gable or whatever it is. The floor height, if that's incorrect, I could change that to 2, which wouldn't be too sensible. But if I change it to 2 and go back and look at the number of floors, you'll see the number of floors applied. If I was to then change that back to 4.07, which is what it was, it gives you roughly half as many floors. I can also put in window width, window height, the percentage of windows, and that's going to change the window visualization. So I'm just going to go back to the normal building visualization here. I can set this back. Anytime I make a change, you'll see it becomes highlighted in bold. And if I want to go back to what it was, I can just go back to the rule default. So I can kind of go back to the defaults that are set after I've made a change. So you can see the construction description, etc. The simulation results I'll come back to. The next thing that's of interest is the interventions. So the interventions these are all the things that I could do to make changes in the building. So for example, when heating and boilers, E stands for here, E and F. E stands for existing spec. So for the boiler's existing spec, in this case, F stands for a future intervention. So for example, I could go and have a look at the boiler here, see what the options are, put in the current boiler. I'm not sure what a sensible option would be in the Marshes, and then I can change it, put in a new boiler, and we'll see what effect that has when we come to look at the dashboard. Same thing with cooling chillers. There's existing and future. Control systems, we can change all of these things. HVAC, lighting, we can say existing is LED, which is pretty good, and then future we could make some change. So we can also have a look at the insulation within the building. So here you can see the roof. The roof insulation is 200 mil. We wanted to make a change. We have some options here to change it up to 300 mil perhaps. We can also set up the another thing is, if you hover over any of these, you'll see that you get a larger description. So existing building envelope. So the loft, this is saying the roof, and this is telling you about the outer wall, doors, glazing, etc., blinds. All these options are here in terms of upgrading a building. If you wanted to add renewables for hot water, we could add that here. If we want to add PV, we could add it here. If we want to add some sort of wind turbine, we could add it here. So they're all the options that are available for energy upgrades to a building. The next thing that's here is reports. So these are all the numbers that get calculated, and this is something that I'll go through when we have a look at the dashboard. The object attributes tell us a bit about the building. So again, we've already seen that it was built in 2005. You can see the owner is unknown, occupancy is unknown, tells you it's a retail store. And then the rest of the options here are largely for the tool. So these are not things that we need to spend too much time looking at. The last thing here is information, which is just, again, that's to do with the tool. So things that are of interest here are the object attributes, the interventions, and the simulation results, which I will come back to, the building information and the visualization. So different ways that we can look at it. So that's all I wanted to cover in this video. Thank you.